Too bad it missed my long by 2 ticks. Certainly would still be in it. And it's a good place to be looking for a long versus a short. Oh well. Oh, I did it. I had mine at 22. Actually missed me by a point. But definitely a good place to be looking for a long. Yep. I was taking more of the Hail Mary position. Like 2 points behind it. 1.5 behind it. So missed me by that little bit. Oh well. Wait for the next trade. Certainly an area, like I said, to be looking for a long versus a short. Until it proves otherwise. And you know when it proves otherwise. I was kind of hoping it got up to the 39 last night because I had an order sitting there to go short. But boy, we had a 6-point range until just right now. That'll get you. Now it's still 12 points. It's still only half the normal overnight range. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I think if we get a move, that's what's going to happen. What do I know? We'll trade it as it's presented. But here I'm actually looking for evidence of laddering back up. Especially if we can get up over this 53.30. I'm not looking for the first ladder for sure. I'd be looking much more at a second ladder. I can see where it kind of wicked you there. Oh well. Wait for the next trade. Go back to the 15-minute chart. Thanks. Go back to a 10-minute chart. Man, bacon is good. My wife and I shared an entire thing of ice cream last night. Like, okay, I got to eat better today. I threw down some sugar last night. My goodness. Man. Yesterday was so good, I feel spoiled. So, gotta be patient. Trade a little smaller today, maybe. I don't know. My goodness. We missed out, Mr. Pappy. It was so close. All right, we get up over this. I'm gonna go to a 1-minute chart here because it starts laddering. Not sure I want the first ladder, but if I do, it'll be small. Well, the bulls are still defending. There's no question. The good thing is they did what? They weakened that overnight low. I'm at the RTH low. So now that high time frame break level's tested. So that's good. And I don't care which way they want to take it. Really don't. Right now, you lean long. It grabbed liquidity, pushed back up. I'm not shorting that for sure. We're in the green area of this range that we talked about in the AM briefing. You'd easily push that on down to this overnight low. You'd easily push this to the overnight high. I mean, not the overnight high, yesterday's RTH high. Just
Shadow Trader.
All right, I'll be back.
Good morning and welcome to the pre-market perspective. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. So where are we at? We have an extremely tight range here in the overnight session. I think markets are a little bit hesitant ahead of NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA wasn't as strong as I think people thought could have been yesterday in yesterday's rally, maybe. I don't know. But regardless, feels a little bit hesitant. We don't have a lot of economic data. We did have a lot of Fed speakers yesterday, and we've got Fed speakers again today. So you can see that in the notes that I put near the top of the report. But basically, this overnight distribution, at the very least, gives us one piece of MGI that's playable, is the fact that this POC here, when looked at vis-a-vis the TPOs as opposed to the volume, all these POCs that are in the regular trading hours, they're all volume POCs. Right, this is all where the most amount of volume traded in the session. However, we do pay attention to TPO POCs. The TPO POC is the widest point. And traditionally, if you are a market profile purist, you will consider the TPO to be time-based and not volume-based. Right? The really like pure hardcore market profilers consider it that way. I like to use volume for a number of different reasons. I find that, first of all, I find that it's pretty accurate in terms of prices being pulled to it. Secondly, I don't want to get involved in the, sort of nebulousness of like, well, is this one the POC where it's wide here, or what about this one? How many TPOs is that? What is that? 9? Oh, how many is that? You see what I'm saying? I don't want to get involved in that. That's just a can of worms if you're writing a report like this in the morning. So I've always been leaning towards the volume, and I feel that it works pretty well. But that being said, you want to pay attention to areas like this where the distribution is very wide. And so I'm purposely mentioning that on strength, you want to target this area. And then one of the other things I said in the scenarios was I said, I don't have this marked off as a level, but I feel like this halfback has some importance to it because you can see that like the overnight activity kind of died out right at the midpoint. And I'm thinking that if there's acceptance above the midpoint, then you want to be targeting the POC. That just makes sense. Usually markets will be pulled towards wherever the value is, where the high volume node is, so to speak. That's also why I like the volume POC because it gives me a very specific level as opposed to the TPO POC, which is always many levels. It's very rare actually that you just have a TPO POC similar to the overnight distribution here, where it's exactly one level, right? There's exactly one level that is the widest point, whereas here there's many levels that are the widest point. So that's the other reason why I like it, because it's very, very specific. And when you're trading futures, which is a very short-term oriented type of market play, it's a very specific thing. I think you'd have to agree, right? If you are trading longer term, it doesn't have to be as specific of a thing. You can say, well, I like Starbucks around 77, and it doesn't really matter much if you buy it at 76.50 or 77.50 if your time frame outlook is long. But in day trading, that's not going to make you any money. You have to be, it's a very specific thing. Okay, so that being said, let's continue with what is the downside scenario. Well, the downside scenario is that we would probably test this virgin point of control here from May 17th. And obviously what has to happen, you've got to have an overnight low and an RTH low taken out, and then your target would be there. And that's about it, really. I'm kind of just leaving the market outlook and the targets to be relatively small, excuse me, and close by, right? Relatively small and close by, because I think that the tone that we're seeing here with the overnight activity very, sort of controlled and constricted, should continue. Now, it doesn't have to, but oftentimes it kind of sets the tone. So we shall see. But if it is a little bit more initiative, then start with the levels that I'm talking about. Don't be too concerned, I think, about anything further on, because you can just think about it sequentially. So again, midpoint, POC, right? Below RTH low, VPOC, and then just take it from there sequentially. Then you have to monitor for continuation and see, well, how much momentum do I have? Am I going to go here to single prints? Am I going to go to this RTH low, which is not the, to this RTH low, which is the prior RTH low. It's not the RTH low, actually. I got to take that off, but you get my point, right? You got single prints here, whatever. If you were to get strength here, then it's the POC, and then do you go higher because you also have the swing high? This is also weak as well, right? Because you want to carry that forward in your narrative because it's already been here twice. So that's a breakout point for the market because this reference here is weak. It's been weakened by the fact that it's kind of equal with the other. Okay? All right, that's all. I'm going to leave it there this morning. Hope you guys have a wonderful and profitable session.
All right. So Shadow Trader shared his pre-market link on Twitter. I saw that, so shared it with you. All right, so it's definitely weakened this break level. We're at the bottom of the range. So we take this out. I'll certainly be looking for a short to at least target the half back, and if not this low. And then if we get underneath there, it could be a really good flush. So we'll see. Just a real tough place to want to be short here. The right play was what we tried to do was go long. So we'll see. All right, so definitely softened the ground. I thought it was writing on the wall two things. We couldn't take the high, and then we didn't buy it back up and get back to POC yesterday. So I thought that was very interesting writing on the wall. Not that it gives me a short. I mean, I would have shorted 39 had it got up there in the overnight, but that's okay. And now... All right, let's see what happens. Now, if they buy this thing back up, which I do not expect them to do it, to be honest, because of the reasons I just told you, and we got above there, I would be long targeting these areas, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But at least I'm mapping out scenarios. It's like looking at a chessboard, trying to look two moves ahead, you know? That'd have been nice. 5 points. Oh, well. I don't have a trade on the board. 12 minutes to the opening. Kind of a no trade zone by time. Push to the halfback. If they say it pushed straight down to the halfback, I'm probably taking that long. It's not only until we get underneath here. I think we got to test this RTH. Now, if all it's going to do is a little 5-point bounce and then vomit through, boy, that tells us something about price. But this Friday, RTH halfback, I think, would be defended. And if it's not defended, that tells us something again. This had a nice reaction to it. You can't say it didn't. So we'll see what happens. Our levels aren't turnaround levels. They're bounces. And then sometimes we get into a trade and we're able to stay in it. And that's how we play it. All right. I can close this. I can close this. I got my cash account up. I got Top Step up. I got Apex up. We'll see what happens. $10 minutes to the opening. See what happens. It pushes right up to 40. Let's say it pushes straight up to 40. I'm probably taking that short. Knowing that it could very well come back to the overnight high and the RTH halfback and bounce up, which will be fine. I'll take profit. It's fine. If it pushes straight down, you know, that halfback is really close. I mean, it's only 5 points. I mean, that's a tough one. I might take that with kind of a Hail Mary type of entry. 1.5 or so past it. Good morning, Mr. Bruce, Mr. Casey, Mr. Jackie, Mr. James, Mr. Joel, and Mr. Pappy, Mr. Paul, Mr. Roger. And I assume you guys saw the critique my trade last night. If anybody had any additional thoughts on that, make sure you contribute. It doesn't have to be my own thoughts, but if you click the picture, you will see my thoughts on that trade. So certainly towards the bottom of the range where it's better to look for a long than a short. It has to be really proven to me for me to go short. And any shorts here would be small with the goal of adding if we get a real move. Your first entry does not have to be your full leverage. You can always do a test entry and add as price moves your direction. It's certainly not looking good for the bulls. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. All right, so Russell, the redheaded stepchild, is under. Dow is having none of this. NQ is still in the middle of the range. So, yeah, I stick to my thesis. But if I can find a way to be long here, I'd rather be long than short. But if price proves me wrong, we'll switch teams. Go to a 30-minute chart here. Yeah, I'm fine with that, actually. So, yeah, if it puts straight down to the RTH halfback, I'd probably take that as a long, small. That way, if I'm wrong, it doesn't hurt me. And if I'm right, I can add. Seven minutes to the opening, no trade zone buy time. I'm going to get some coffee, and I'll be right back. As I said in the AM briefing, today tends to be a trend day for us. The most number of 5-pointers in a week is on Tuesdays, so it's a good day if you get into a trade. Try to milk it. Either take one off at like 2 points and keep your stop back 2 points so you can survive any double tap. Or 1 point, 1 point, whatever. All right, 5 minutes to the opening. Let's just take a peek. Look at Dow having none of it. Yeah, I stick with my thesis until proven wrong. So to be honest, if this thing pushed down, I would try a long here, small. If it goes against me, looking for half loss or paper cut loss or break even. And then I would try a long again here, to be honest. Because I would expect that if it came here, we'd bounce back up before we actually took a vomit. So we'll see. My humble opinion, your mileage may vary. Certainly looks like they want to push it down. As weird as that sounds, that doesn't mean short. All we really have are speakers today. Tomorrow's just minutes. It's a light news week, as we all know. So we've had small ranges, light volume, no follow through. No follow through. I think that's important. Oh, my lawn guy's outside. Let me go pay him. I'll be right back. That is a hard working man right there. 30 bucks a yard. He does half the neighborhood. Just pounds it out.
Workout.
All right, workout 2 minutes before the market opens. All right, it's time to stand up. These are the scenarios I see. Doesn't mean they will happen. I would expect a defense from here. I wish we were a little further away coming if it shoots down. And who knows, we might shoot straight up. And if we do, I'll take a short about 39, 40, somewhere in there. With the same philosophy as yesterday, I'll hold on. All right, 20 seconds.
Bigger picture.
All right, we're open. Let's go. Again, we're in a green range here. It's more likely to go up than down, but we'll trade the levels as they develop. Let's go take a peek at everybody else real quick. Okay. Looks like we've got different folks going different ways. Back and forth through the opening. Indecision. We are in the green zone where it's better to look for a long than a short. Starts laddering up. I'll get on board. Depends on how it all develops. Morning, Nathan. Back and forth through the opening. In this area, I lean long versus short. I would need to see laddering to get me on board. It's a long day. Well, unless I get into a trade early and it's trending, I will be done at my quitting time today. Yesterday was a long day, but very nice day. And if you're newer to our system, trust me, when we're in these ranges and you're in the green area, it's a very difficult place to take a short. Especially if the theme continues of extreme chop with no follow through. Yesterday did give us a couple red flags. So we'll see. This is why having some red folder news events is helpful. It creates ranges. It creates movement. When you don't have them, it can be tough. All right, let's go take a peek at everybody else. Whoops. Yep. better to be looking for longs and shorts here, but I just don't have anything to do. You wish it would have saved grabbing this liquidity for earlier, and boy, my 22 short might have gotten in. Nope, I'm in my 22 long. Nope. All right, all this is tested here. Nothing I'm really interested in. Plus, I'm in the green area. Very nice, Casey. Congratulations. Good morning, Mr. Warren. After such a great day yesterday, today deserves precision. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, still pushing up over the opening. Let's go take a peek at everybody else again. Once again, the break level ladder point of yesterday's low has now been thoroughly softened up. If they decide to push through it, they can certainly do it, but we are at the bottom of this range where it tends to be better to be long than short. Morning, Mr. Jared. You do have the VWAP lining up with the overnight halfback. Not that that gives you a trade. This is not a break level. It's nothing more than a test of this break level. Small overnight range, and so far we're having a small opening range. Jeez. Check everybody else out. Dow changed its mind there and went from taking out the overnight high back to the overnight low. It's a small range, so it's really easy to do, but interesting. Russell at VWAP in yesterday's low. Dow coming into VWAP in yesterday's halfback. All great places for price to bounce. Will they bounce? So at this point, if we get a push down through here, I'll be looking for probably a short to the halfback. Now, if it just vomits straight down, I'll probably take the halfback. We'll see what price presents. My goodness. Just hang out and wait your turn. You're like a surfer just waiting for your wave. Like, nope, I don't like that one. Nope, I don't like, oh, I like that one. Okay, we seem to be having evidence of laddering down from the overnight. I like to draw any line I can from the overnight session, and one would have to draw this at this point. Doesn't give me a short because I respect my green area. The bulls are defending again, but if they defend like they did yesterday in the afternoon, I think they're going to give it up. They keep trying to come up for air and they keep getting pushed back down. My goodness, first 10 minutes. 5-point range, 6-point range. So Nvidia is down 1%. Going nowhere. Good thing about our system, we don't have to guess, do we? All right, let's go take a peek at everybody else. It's the only thing to do. So Russell broke through its VWAP after taking yesterday's low. That thing is wild. Dow still don't know. We don't know. NQ doesn't know. But these two guys are still within range. These three guys are still within range, and all four guys are within range. But the train has not departed the station. But we are on part of the chart. I lean more long than short. I just don't have a way to go long. So we'll wait. All right, coming up to the overnight halfback and VWAP. Unfortunately, there's no level there, so plus we're still in the green area. It's better to be looking for a long than a short. I just don't have a way to get into a trade yet. All right, let's zoom in a little bit here. The bulls are still defending. VWAP half back.
Bigger picture.
Go check everybody else out again. All right, what do you want to do, ES? So for those that are coming in a little later, if we get to here, this is kind of what I'm expecting to see, but got to get out of this little area. I can't do anything here. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. All right, so this thing does this. I'll try to be short to here. If it goes without me, I'll probably go long here. You're still in the bottom of this green area. Any shorts right underneath that is risky. Just know that. You'd really, if you wanted to be safest, you'd wait for the second ladder under it, not the first. We're still over the opening. Go take a peek at everybody else again. My goodness. Russell. Okay. Okay. Here, let's zoom that in just a little bit more. Zoom you in a little bit more. Zoom you in a little bit more. Zoom you in a little bit more. Are we all on the same train? Heck no. We're on the complex chop train. The one thing you do not want to do is trade with the prediction of a breakout. Wow, still like the 6-point range. No energy. Low energy ES. Make sure I don't have any orders in my in my DOM. All righty. Jeez. Sometimes a no trade day is the best day. We are still above the opening, battling this VWAP, battling the RTH halfback. Let's take a peek at everybody else again. The bulls don't want to lose this level, but it's no problem. I think this is the real level down here that they don't want to take out, because underneath there, I think we have a good move. Just be patient. Yesterday, we got paid for patience. Still above the opening, battling VWAP. Now Dow's back on the other side of its overnight range. Ten minutes to the top of the hour. Well, I was hoping we'd get more movement today. This is horrendous. Once again, we are in the green zone of this range. It's better to look for a long than a short. I just have no way to be long, really. Too bad VWAP and halfback are right there. Gives no space, really. If we pop that, you might be interested in a long to the overnight high. If we get that. But man, the lack of follow through is just not encouraging. NQ is definitely at a spot for it to pull back in. See what happens. I've got nothing. We just wait. Can it get back up over this 30? If so, we should target the 39, but your mileage may vary. 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Maybe something will shake loose here at the turnover. Can't even draw in a level. One, two, three, four, five. 18 minutes at this level. If the bulls can't get it going. Yesterday, not taking the all-time high. And in the afternoon after the flush, and where we went long, that it couldn't get back to POC. Red flags, red flags. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. Are we all on the same train? No, we're all within yesterday's range, but we're in the bottom part of yesterday's range. Just in the middle of chop. Actually, I wouldn't say we're in the middle of chop. We're at the bottom of chop. You know how in the AM briefing I talked about trading the edges. Well, we're pretty much at that edge. That's why it's better to look for a long than a short here, but it's not giving me anything, so whatever. Just wait. Man, yesterday was so exciting. Today's so boring. Let's go take a peek at everybody else again. All right, are they going to give it up? That's what I'm looking for. Can't go short in this green area, though. And the first ladder after it is risky. Just know that. In all honesty, it's the second ladder after it leaves the range. But then you got half back here. Sometimes you have clear skies. We don't have clear skies, that's for sure. Now, underneath here, we got clear skies. Look at that. I mean, we got nice. They're still buying it up. Okay.
Workout.
All right, workout. My goodness, guys. Wow. All right. 1 minute to the top of the hour, then maybe we'll get a little something. If not, oh well. Could be a no trade morning. The only edge we're at is the bottom of this chop zone, but bulls can't take out a break level. You would think even to take out the VWAP, price would have to come here, but maybe not with the turnover. Anything can happen right here. See what happens. Do something.
Bigger picture.
Horrendous. Let's check everybody else out again. Nothing. So at this point, I'm sitting here like, okay, what's my next move? My next move is I want to see a session liquidity taken. I've got nothing until I see a session liquidity taken. I'm just going to wait. If I get nothing, oh well. I have no interest in anything in between that overnight high and the RTH low. I've got no interest in the middle. So it makes it real simple. You hear me often say, I need something new to happen. Yep, need something new to happen. Let's go take a peek at NQ here. As I said, in the green area of this range, it's better to be looking for longs than shorts. It's just not giving me an opportunity. When we pushed down here originally, I had a long setting here. It missed me by a point. It went up 6 points, so I removed my order. Even this wouldn't have got me in. I was being greedy. But I did have orders to go long here, but just didn't get there. So now let's run to the overnight high. So now you're sitting here looking at this going, okay, is it possibly going to leave a backside? Maybe. Took 20 minutes to get over the VPOC. I meant VWAP. Jeez. The POC from yesterday is up here at this 43, 44 area. You have to lean long, but I just don't have a way to be long. Not yet. I think it's telling it broke the VWAP by not having to pull back. It didn't have to pull back at all. It took time, took 20 minutes, but it broke it without having to pull back. That tells us something about the strength of the buyers, in my humble opinion. Still looking for session liquidity, and then see what happens. You only need one good trade. You don't need 10 trades. We haven't missed anything. You know, yesterday we opened and went straight up. Then 3.5 hours, reversal box. This is mind numbing. Dow making new highs. Is it NQ going to get over its half back in VWAP into the upper distribution? I wouldn't bet against it. Certainly not looking for shorts in my green area. No, thank you. It had an opportunity to leave a backside in a fair value gap and didn't do it. Now there is no backside. That got squashed. Now you could take that as a cotton entry long right there if you really wanted to. Small, do not make things worse, but you could have. I chose not to. It was against VWAP and a cotton backside. And now you're up a point or whatever. Just be protective now and hands off the mouse, and maybe it'll move up. If I'd have had 2 candle clearance there, I would have taken it. Maybe. But no 2 candle clearance. I'm not going to take it. Not with this sloppy, go nowhere price action. Shoot me in the head. All right, so you're up 2 points. Yes, it does. It feels like a Monday, Jackie. I agree. This is horrible. This is not Tuesday feeling, is it? And who knows? That might have been the entry there. I couldn't count it as a 3-minute core strategy entry. And it's fine. I didn't even want to do it with one contract. That's how little I wanted to do it. So I'll just wait. You don't need every trade. And this is ugly. Now, let's say, what would have made that scenario feel different? Let's say that NQ was already up here, taking out its overnight high. Let's just use that as an example. It was up here getting close to taking out its overnight high, but hasn't gotten there. I would have probably been more interested, but whatever. Just wait for the next trade. Well, if you took it, you're up 2 points. Be protective. Most likely it'll go for the overnight high. But one thing for sure, what are we seeing? No level development. It's real difficult to trade. If I don't get any entries this morning, I will be back in the afternoon. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. So the thesis, especially if you're new at our group in this green range, you really don't want to be going short. And once again, it's proving to be true. It really falls under know where you're at. Oh, thanks, Rusty. Yeah, I don't know. I try to figure out when I can do something live each week just to show people a little taste. I was hoping Tuesday was typically a trend day, and it doesn't look like we're getting a, not at this point. You could have taken that long there, but I'm just not that interested in it. I'll wait. Um, let's see. Oh, there we go. So Rusty said, "Thanks for this. I enjoy your insights and glad to see you live. Do you watch the AM briefings out of curiosity, Rusty?" I assume so. Very cool. So once again, failure for level development. There's just nothing here for me. I'll just wait. I'd love to see it flush through the bottom, but we don't seem to be anywhere near that. Let's go take a peek at everybody else again. Yeah, doubt NQ just can't get over that halfback in VWAP, but doesn't give me a trade. Now, ES has got to get back under the overnight halfback, back under VWAP, back under the opening, back under the RTH low. But this is all softened multiple attempts from yesterday's low. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Now, 30-minute level, you had a trade there to go short, but I'm not going to go short in my green area. I'm just not. There are easier trades, easier trade locations. Well, Rusty, that's something we continually drive into our group. We just wait till we have a level. And it's easier to wait as a group than by yourself. And today's just not giving us anything. 30 minutes to IB highs and lows. 15 minutes to IB highs and lows. No need to trade this, guys. There are easier times to trade, easier days to trade. Don't count the buyers out yet, man. We're still in the green area. They're still defending. Opened, haven't seen the opening since. Above VWAP. If I could draw a line in the RTH, it's this. Respect it. The play is long or flat. I'm choosing flat.
Bigger picture.
I don't really think we need a bigger picture. We haven't went anywhere. There is certainly enough time to draw lines today. My goodness, this is just excruciating. And typically we find in the first hour, if it's 13 points or less, it's just not worth trading. We're at still not even 10 points. Another 14 minutes. If we're under 13 points, it usually proves it's not worth trading at all for the whole day. But if I don't get a trade this morning, I will be back in the afternoon inside the group. All right, let's go to a 10-minute chart here just to bring this out. So if this thing does pop the overnight high, more than likely it's going to POC here. And then will it continue to the all-time high? I don't know if it has that kind of energy, but you never know. Most likely I won't be a part of it. I mean, look at all this crap here it's got to get through. Jeez. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. Let's hide all. Let's just look at it naked. Now I just want to look at my drawings. This half back is key. I think we discussed that in the AM briefing. Just key. Is there a bull bear line? That's probably it. If the bulls can't get above it, I think they give it up and we at least come down here to test this stuff. Underneath there, it's a move. My humble opinion. But there's no news driver, so there's no catalyst to jumpstart this thing. So, all right, let's bring everything back. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. Is anyone tipping their hand to a move? The answer is no. Complex chop is the only thing on the menu right now. I don't like complex chop. It actually makes trading easy because there's nothing. Still got this laddering up sequence. In fact, I would encourage you to just throw that line on there and go, you know what? Something's got to happen. Either let's take out the overnight high. Let's break this with a vengeance. Let's get under the VWAP. Is it going to bounce and go back up? Price still has to prove itself. It hasn't proven anything. Morning, Mr. Toby.
Hey, George.
Good morning. I saw a quote this week that I thought was very pertinent to trading. And it said, there's hardly any problem that can't be solved by getting up earlier. I thought that was a great quote.
I know some problems it doesn't solve.
Well, yesterday seemed to be much easier pickings, only later in the day, though. This is horrible. 10 minutes to IB highs and lows. So let's draw this on here. IB low. This is the tentative IB highs and lows. We were just hanging out right here at the overnight halfback. Not the best place to enter a trade. That was one of the comments in the critique my trade from last night. Unless we grabbed liquidity and are laddering a certain direction, then you can go with the direction. But you want to be careful countering after it grabs liquidity at a halfback. So let me repeat that. It grabs liquidity like here. It grabbed liquidity and it's laddering north. If you wanted to take the halfback long, that's okay. But don't take the halfback short. It's context. It's a nuance. The money's in the nuances. And whoever posted that trade last night, well, I know who it was, but I think you managed it just perfectly. Given that it really wasn't a level. And you didn't get married to the trade. Geez, I marked these wrong. This is the IB low. IB low. And this would be the IB high. In 7 minutes. I'm going to move that out of the way because that's the one that most likely will get taken. We still seem to be laddering up in the ugliest fashion possible, in a non-tradable fashion. NQ's trying, man. Only Dow has taken the overnight high. Everybody else is resting. You still have to lean long. The play is long or flat. I'm choosing flat. Too bad it didn't give us an entry down here because I wanted to be long. There was nothing to lean on. There was nothing I could draw. And then to deal with this, oh, that's exhausting. I'd rather not be in a trade than to be in a trade during that. So, James, I replied to your private message. Just decide whether or not you want that to be one-on-one or ask away on the trading floor. Each morning there's links posted. I forget what that's called, reminder links or something. And there, if you wanted to do a Zoom package, it's right there. You know, speaking of James's, I wonder where Mr. James Ruth has been. My goodness, dudes. Still less than 10 points. Wow. Let me post on Discord here. I got to go to the grocery store this morning at my quitting time, so it'll be nice. Making spaghetti for tonight. I like that sauce to cook all day. So when my daughters and wife get home, the house smells amazing. All right, so still evidence of laddering up. Horrible, ugly laddering up. Still inside of the green area of the range. It's better to be long than flat. The play is certainly long or flat. I'm choosing flat. I want to see it go do some sort of liquidity. So between there and there, I have nothing. I'm just not that interested. Had it given me a clear level, I would have taken a long, but there was no clear level. So I'm out. I'll just watch. Be a sniper. You know, it's like, what is the market waiting for? What is the news next week? Let's go ahead and look at next week. I haven't done that yet. What the heck is next week? Next week. Consumer confidence, some GDP numbers, PCE. So a little more. Oh wow, Monday's a bank holiday. Ooh. So we got a 3-day weekend coming up. So it probably means Friday is going to be horrendous. When is NVIDIA? Is that tonight? NVIDIA's earnings? And maybe that's what the market's waiting for. Tomorrow. After the close. Do you know, Garrett? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so we might be in a pure waiting mode because apparently NVIDIA, if it goes up, will take over Microsoft and market cap and some other company I saw will definitely move the market. So play is longer flat. I'm just not that interested. Now we're getting close.
Workout.
We're getting close to the muddy middle of this entire range. And this morning, like in the AM briefing, I said trade the edges. Well, this is the middle. When it gets into the red zone, it starts getting to the other side. I mean, how many times did it look like here they're going down, they're going down, they're going down? But we have to recognize we're at the edge of a range. It's more than likely going to go up. And that's what's happened. This saved anyone from going short in this crap. Thanks, Pappy. Man. Well, it looks like it's going to be a zero trade morning. IB highs and lows here in 1 minute. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. Ah, look at that. Finally pushing through. Finally pushing through. You know, this is when days like, man, if price would have behaved a little differently down here, I'd have been long. And you're like, oh, well, it didn't behave in the manner that I need it to. And we've got zero level development. Okay, cool. Thanks, Pappy. Overtook Google. I wonder how many times he'll say the word AI
IB high low.
in the earnings call. Every minute that creeps by, the more likely I am to turn off my DOM.
Bigger picture.
Just close my DOM and say, oh, well, I'll wait till this afternoon. As I said, I'm looking for this and this, see what happens. Otherwise, I'm just watching and hanging out with you, delightful gentlemen. At least we saw direction correctly. We just did not have an entry, in my humble opinion. You could have taken that cotton long there that we talked about, but then this candle would have gotten you out, in my humble opinion. Unless you did the 3 contract system and took one off at 2, kept it back. But I no, thank you. I wouldn't have taken that with more than 1 contract, in all honesty. That's just me. I'm a little more conservative. Let's go check it out. Well, these 2 guys seem to be on a similar train. These 2 don't know what's going on. Once again, the play is longer flat. I'm choosing flat. And sometimes price just goes without you. No FOMO in this crap. And that's what it is. Slop and chop. There's not one level you could draw on your end of the day chart here. Very nice. It's beautiful. I wish I was in it. It just stinks when it does what you say it's going to do and you're not in it. You're like, ugh, you're killing me, Smalls. It's a 10-pointer from where I tried to enter earlier. Oh, well. I think the market's saying be patient. Be patient. Zero trades this morning. I did put a trade in, but didn't get me in. And here it comes to the overnight high. Yesterday's half back. If you were interested in a small short there, I understand. I personally would want to be shorting closer to 39. That's where yesterday added to the short between 37 and 39. Definitely a pivotal area. 36 is the half back. The edge of this gray area is 37, 38, 39's here. What do I want to do? It's certainly counter to the trend here. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. Here it goes. There's no manipulation in the market. And there it is. Boom, run straight up there. Now let's see what you're going to do. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. So for the newer members, it's better to be long in the green, not looking for shorts in the green. Unfortunately, it didn't give us a way to be in that trade. It happens. I can't promise you we'll be in every move. We certainly saw it well. We weren't trying to counter that move, waiting until it took some sort of liquidity there. And then look at the chart again with a fresh set of eyes. Well, that stinks. Had a short there for 39, and it's already had its reaction, so I'm out. Whoops. So there's my 39. Somehow I moved my... Let me move that over. There we go. So there was my 39 short, but didn't get me in. So I'm removing it. $38 would have been the more kind of the Hail Mary position, but I wanted to go for 39, and 40 would have even been a little bit of a greedier, better entry in my opinion. Just didn't happen. Didn't get there. Now, you would be shorting in front of the VPOT target, which is certainly a resting place that it probably wants to desperately get to. Too bad none of this really gave us an entry. You know, yesterday's run up, we didn't have an entry. It just ran straight up. Man, missed my long down here by a point. Missed my short here by a point. It happens. Nice, Rusty. I hope it gets there too. It's certainly a beautiful place for price to come back in. We're in the red zone of our range, where it starts to, it's smarter to look for shorts inside of the red zone. If I was long, I would certainly be trying to target the VPOC for sure. And my out would be under the IB high if I was long. Try to target this. My out would be under the IB high, in my humble opinion. All right, let's go take a peek at everybody else. Did NQ get its overnight high? It did not. Okay. So did we just go parabolic? Yes. So primary trend line went parabolic. It's usually a good idea to not counter a parabolic move. All right. Well, I wouldn't set my, you can do whatever you want, of course, but I wouldn't put my take profit at 40. Why would you cap yourself? Allow it room to run. My humble opinion. I mean, this thing could shoot up and we go 100 points north. You're now in a parabolic move. Why would you take a profit at 40? My humble opinion. One good runner like that makes a week. One good runner like that can take care of every break even / loss trade. Maybe that's not a good plan, Rusty. Gotcha. Yeah, I certainly I'm probably done for the morning. Like I said, the play was longer flat. If you're long, I would definitely be targeting the 43.50, and then above that you got the all-time high, and above that there is absolutely nothing in your way. So that will be it for my trading this morning. I'll watch price action to the top of the hour though. You are entering the red part of the chop zone. Can it get over this 39? Remember that 39 is the level that we vomited down yesterday. This is a beautiful back test of that area where we vomited down. It may not get a dime over this, but it certainly went parabolic, and I would give it the benefit of the doubt. If I was multiple contracts, I'd for sure take something off here, keep one back for your runner. If you only entered one contract or you don't have much options, if you're long one ES, get out and go long MES, and give yourself the option to participate in this move up. But I think I'm not going to enter in a trade. I think I'll be done and see what the afternoon looks like. Now, NQ has not taken its overnight high, so more than likely we've got another push in us for it to get there. Look at
Bigger picture.
Look at these other guys. I certainly wouldn't be betting against it. The short I had at 39 would have simply just been a reactionary short. Certainly not a turnaround location, although it could. but I would have done it with one contract only, so I wouldn't have had many options. We are in a parabolic move, and it is better to not short a parabolic move. If you're long, try to stay in it. There's no reason to get out. Zero. None. There, once again, no sellers present. No sellers are present. Yeah, I will be done. You know, the other way to play this as far as a stop loss is be behind two fair value gaps and have your stop just behind that. But then again, you got the IB high, so might as well be behind that in my humble opinion. There's no perfect answer there because this is just horrendous structure. It gives you nothing to stay behind. But you do have a couple fair value gaps there. You do have the IB high there, but it has now grabbed this overnight liquidity and very well could come in. Do you want to take a long now? I wouldn't recommend it. You could do it small. Where's your backup level? Where's your ideal stop loss? The only energy there was the manipulation to get the high. I'm going to go to a 10-minute chart here. This is kind of what we were mapping out. So we're just now in the middle of the middle of the middle. Oh well. Just make it as clean as we can here. Well, I'm very pleased at how we saw that. Longer flat was the play. Just had no entries to go long. It grabbed the overnight high. I mean, to be in that trade, I would just be jumping on the train and not trading the system. So, like this move here, there was no way to be in that move right here. This move here. Oh, well. Looks very similar. Although yesterday was much faster. Seems like the POC would be the goal. No trade morning. But dang. Tuesdays are usually trend days. You really want to be in the trade early. But I got to have a legit reason. The beautiful thing is if they decide to take it down, this should be easy to break. They've softened the ground there. But absolutely beautiful. I wish we could have got into it. Dang it.
Stop trading in 10 minutes. Only trade your best trading hours. Take a break. Walk away. Be done. Be content.
All right. 10 minutes. Unless something marvelous happens, there's no way I'll be in a trade. Oh, you got in on that long, James? Okay, don't blame you. There was a perfect location to do that. So good. All right, James is in it. Are you still in it, James? Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. It's certainly worthy of small. Okay, good job, man. Maybe it'll get there to POC for you. Like I said, my out would be under the IB high. And just let the trade work. The only thing we know for sure for the last 3 days, there has been no follow through. So ES8, it grabbed all that liquidity at the overnight high, grabbed all of this liquidity that it couldn't get yesterday. It ate. It's it's now got a full tummy. There are no sellers. The play is longer flat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set an alert for the IB low. I want to be notified. It'll be on the trading floor. I want to be notified if it takes out the IB low. That's about the only thing I actually care about. Nice, Pappy. I was being a little greedy. I wanted 39. I was being a little greedy twice today. You greedy bastard. I wanted the amazing entry. Oh, well. All right, 5 more minutes, and that will conclude my trading morning. I'll be back in the afternoon or when it takes out the IB low. As I said, I got to go to the grocery store and get some things for dinner. So I just put my shoes on. I'm going to scuttle out of here. Certainly saw it well this morning. At least James got long on that call out, so that's nice. Somebody got paid. Let's go take a peek. Did NQ get now? As writing on the wall, what if NQ doesn't get this and it gets back underneath this IB, this halfback? Right now, the play is still long or flat, I believe, until it takes out the IB low, or it grabs this, or it grabs. Whoa, I did not mean to move that. Stop. Or it grabs the all-time high, pulls back in. Shift in market structure, that type of stuff. Longs, I really wouldn't have an interest in a long now because it already grabbed this liquidity. I don't believe the bulls have enough in it to get up here for the reasons we stated yesterday. Couldn't take the high, couldn't buy it back up, and all ES did was take this liquidity. That's all it did. He ate. In no way do I think it's anything other than that. But if this thing pulls back in, I'm not interested in a long until maybe here. This next pool of liquidity. I don't know, man. We've got to see how price is delivered and all that good stuff. So did we get out of the 13-point range? Barely. We certainly didn't do it for the first hour of trading, though. If you wanted to go...
Turn on alerts.
If you wanted to go long, you could go long off the IB high. But the fact that we couldn't clear this and it was just a clear liquidity grab, that's a high risk long, in my opinion. You could always take it and take it small and with a paper cut stop loss just underneath it. But it's too close to my trading time window being closed. I traded all day yesterday. I'd need to not do that today. Now, for some reason, we got a 15-point vomit candle and took out the IB low. I'd hang out. It just doesn't seem like that's going to be possible.
Workout.
Workout. All right. One more time.
Stop trading and close all orders. Take a break. Walk away. Be done. Be content.
All right, my friends. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for trading with me. I'll be back in the afternoon in the group because I got 0 trades this morning. We'll see if this afternoon presents anything. And so that will be it for me. I'll check with you guys later on.